So we're supposed to trust our gut and trust our intuition implicitly. But what happens when we do that and it turns out to be totally wrong, like not what we were expecting at all? Sadly, these things do happen, and let's talk about that in today's video. This is Krishanti with Krishanti.com, and I'm so happy that you're here. And I'm going to call her Luna for short, wrote this to me. Would you ever be up for doing a video on your intuition taking you in a wrong direction? I've had abilities since I was a child, and I recently had years of getting the same consistent message from my intuition coming through in the most incredible, beautiful synchronicities, in extremely vivid dreams, etc. It was not just seeing someone's name on license plates, for example, but I discovered recently I was flat out wrong. I'm curious if this ever happened to you or what your thoughts on that are, if you ever felt like making a video on it. Either way, I appreciate you and your channel so much, Krishanti. Thank you, Luna. I'm so grateful and happy. And guys, if there are certain things you want me to cover too, just write to me. And if it's something I can speak to, I'd love to talk about it. But she brings up such an important point with all of this intuitive work, because we're not working in a linear landscape. It's very non-linear and non-analytical. It can be very easy for us to think that 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4. But in the intuitive realm, it doesn't work like that. And that's what can make it tricky. So I was really thinking about your question. And there are 3 cases where I can kind of figure out maybe what was going on here with this. The first one is that you said you've been having these synchronicities and all this stuff, which when you are in that mode and you're feeling it and you're seeing it, it is so real. The first potential possibility is not that your intuition was flat out wrong, but that it's going to take a lot more time than you would think. And that does happen. Now, when we're in this intuitive world, time is slippery and it's different. So a couple of examples. I worked with somebody, I think the first time we started doing readings was 20 years ago. And she wanted to know about this guy she was going to marry. And the description came in. But you guys, it took 15 years for her to finally be with that guy. And it was like, was that wrong? It felt like during those 15 years, like, I guess it's not going to happen. Maybe that was wrong. But she is with him now, and they're married and everything. Now, another example is I was working with my psychic student, Sue, who's like really psychic. It was really fun how easily she picked up on things. And we were doing a read for Louise, who is also intuitive, and wondering when she was going to meet her guy. And Sue picked up, this was so much fun. She picked it up like it was coming soon, and she saw the scene like on the beach, and I was kind of mentoring, like guiding and holding the space for all this intuitive stuff to come through. She met the guy in like a matter of months. It just happened. So unfortunately, because it's non-linear, it's not the way we always think it's going to be. So we may think like this is the synchronicities are building, like I'm seeing this person everywhere. It feels so right. It feels like it's going to happen. Boom, it doesn't. Perhaps it's just that maybe it'll happen further down the line. And you just have to, it's that wait and see approach. So that's the first explanation I can think of for that particular situation that you're in. Now, the second possibility of this is that you and the person that you're getting the synchronicities with are definitely connected. But what I and other people who do what I do in the field are seeing is that there are some people that have such a strong energy signature that you will get the most off the charts, out of this world synchronistic stuff coming in that you're just like, OMG. I know I keep saying that, but it's that mind-blowing. And you think like, well, this must mean something with this person until you realize that this person has that kind of energy. My friend Sarah is really good at this and skilled at recognizing it. And she's had a lot of run-ins with people who present, she calls it dragon energy. So dragon men, for example, come through with just gangbuster synchronicities and signs, and even those vivid dreams and those things that feel so like this is what it's going to be. And then because they're in a state that can be somewhat unpredictable and they have so much energy, they're thinking about you, and that's how these interactions are happening. They may suddenly pivot and meet someone else, or get their direction yanked or their attention yanked in another direction, and bam, they're gone. You're left thinking, was my intuition wrong? Like, what's going on here? So there's that. But mixed in with that connection is, and I want to make this very clear, Luna, and I'm sorry I keep shortening your name, but it makes it easier, is like, that's not to say that there isn't a very significant connection happening. It could be in these other planes, these other realities, like you talked about dreams, like they'll come through in the dream world, in the non-material world. And so you, again, that intuition was guiding you and showing you, hey, there's something here, there's an energy here, may not necessarily mean that it's going to manifest in the physical world. And my friend I talked to you, or I just mentioned about with the dragon energy, has had that happen with these dragon men enough to realize, oh, okay, that's what this is now. So notice that too. And then the third thing, which is like the one that we really don't want to talk about, because, we're always like, yes, your intuition is always right. But it could be that something shifted between you and that person, like your timeline shifted, or as they always say, that fate is not always 100% written in stone. There could have been a last minute switch, or like something could have shifted to change it completely. And unfortunately, because of the nature of this work, that does happen sometimes, more often than not with all the women I've worked with, because usually it's the women calling me for advice and asking. It's that the guy just like has a different agenda, or the other person just went in a different direction, or changed their mind. It was very sad, but I was working with someone who broke up with her fiance, and there was such love there. Like, it was palpable, you guys. Like, it was tangible, the love. And it looked like it was going to be able to be repaired. Like, it was the kind of love where it's like, well, gosh, if this ends, this is so tragic. And it was looking like it was going to work out. He had a sudden change of thought after a session with the therapist, a sudden change of heart. It really dug his heels in obstinately and changed that fate completely. So sometimes that can happen. But I really feel like, Luna, it could be more of a matter of the first two in this case, because of your history of being really attuned to your intuition. My vibe is really telling me it's either a timing thing, or this person has like that kind of like wow presenting energy. So I hope that helps. Now, if you want to sharpen your intuitive skills, I just finished this most exciting, fun meditation. It's a decision-making meditation. So rather than book like hundreds of dollars session with me, you can get this meditation, go through it yourself, and it'll lead you through making a decision. And you can make a decision like on anything. So check that out. I have a whole library of guided meditations at krishanti.com, but they're all geared to help you tap into your power in an easy way that, so that you can feel like you're in tune and in step with your intuition. So there's a whole bunch of tools over there. Check it out. And write to me if there are things you want me to cover. I'm so happy to be here for you and answer your questions. So on that note, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.